vegetarian and vegans speaking a bit slow. Okay, next slide. Can't really see. Next. And I think this helped a lot. The World Health Organization, when they announced that processed meat cause cancer, big news. The animal industry hated us. I think we need this. This is real big changes, and this is coming right from the top. Next. And this is the UN report saying that the animal agriculture sector contributes to 18% of greenhouse gases, and whereas transportation, all the cars, trucks, combined was only 12-14%. We need this kind of big news. These are the kind of big news that will shift things really fast. Next. I'm not talking about some conspiracy theory kind of thing. I'm talking about natural depopulation. It's happening. Cancer, heart disease, it's wiping people out. Next. And this is something I think it's a natural self-elimination process. If people don't heed the message, they just get self-eliminated. Next. So it's a lot about how we deviate from nature. It's a lot about how we are able to shift back. Business gurus like to say this. They say that the businesses who can relearn and unlearn and readapt, they are the ones who will survive. It's the same with the human species. It is the humans that are able to readapt, relearn, readjust, they are the ones who will survive. If they don't adjust, they just get eliminated. Cancer is on the rise sharply. Next. I think the cost is another strongly inviting factor to invite people to switch, because this is a bill for cancer. It comes up to $250,000 for one cancer case. It's quite difficult. So I think and the cost is increasing every year. So I think at the rate at the trend that it is going, we're talking about another 24 years time. I think it's possible. Because the change isn't quite linear. I think the change is exponential. As more and more people wake up, as more and more bad news about health picks up, people can pick up. And the other thing I realized is that when we are doing talks in schools, so whenever we try and tell people about animal cruelty and environmental disruption, people don't like to listen to this kind of thing. It's better when we talk about anti-aging, into nice skin. People want to hear this kind of good news. So I mean, over the years we find that this works. You tell people bad news, they kind of shun, they kind of feel very uncomfortable. So I think that's the way to go, and I think if you go along those lines, it can be achieved, and we need all of it. I think we all get together, with all the different issues. I think it can be done. Let's think more.
Okay, thank you, the panelists. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's give our panelists a round of applause. Thank you for their wonderful speech. Okay, right now we are open for questions. Okay, please limit your question to 1 minute. If you overstretch it, I'm going to let you finish all the food again. Okay, I mean it. Okay, let us try to give each other an equal chance. Maybe someone from here will speak, will ask, and the panelists will speak. Please direct, if possible, direct the question to the particular panelist. If not, you'll just take them to answer it. And also, people down here, feel free to ask a question also. So, Josh will pass the mic around. Yeah. Okay. So, can we have the first question, please?
Okay, hi everyone. I don't know if you can hear me or you can see me because I'm at one extreme corner, but yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, the thing is, I must admit, I'm actually a pesco polio vegetarian. That means in other words, if you are the extreme type, you will say that I'm not truly vegetarian. Sometimes during the week, I actually eat meat and I eat fish and chicken as well. So the thing is, there's an official category online, but the thing is, what's your opinion and how do you guys see for me, I see that is a source of protein for me, but I do not touch red meat, I do not touch seafood. It's a bit like being kosher or something. So what's your opinion on that? Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel that the label doesn't really matter. I think what really matters is how you're contributing to your personal health and to the world. I think what you call yourself doesn't really matter. And even if you're still eating meat, I think it's important that we set examples of going towards the right direction, taking the step in the right direction. So my view is that it doesn't really matter. It's not a big deal. Just move towards the right direction. That's what we all need to do.
Very good answer. Okay. Yes. I saw two ladies raising their hands. Yes. Okay. You first. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Namita, and I'm from the SMU Vegetarian Society. So, okay. My question is that, first of all, I really hope that this SG 75 thing happens, and I'm all for it. But my question is that in Singapore, especially, food makes up a large part of our culture, and the local food that we have is mainly non-vegetarian. Like a lot of the delicacies are non-vegetarian. So how are we gonna maintain our culture, which is so dependent on food, if we are trying to shift it towards vegetarianism? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, can I have one of the panelists talk about it? Yeah, feel free. Don't be shy.
Well, I think that number one, mock meats or lab-grown meats, like was mentioned earlier, that can allow you to recreate the exact same dish. But also, a lot of what we come to know from our food culturally is about flavor. And flavor comes from plants, okay? The texture is all that comes from meat. You don't eat a piece of meat without adding a lot of stuff to it to make it taste good. So I think just mock meat, that's the key if somebody really wants to recreate that dish. And then it's not a problem.
Yeah, I just want to reinforce the point. I think the change has to come from the inside. I think it's important that people understand the issues. It's not something you force on people or something you can tahan, I think it's something that must come from the inside. We understand the issues globally, and people need to know that this is a collective effort. And exactly, we've been racking our brains over this thing, how we get people to change. And we have come to understand that mock meat is going to be key. Because there are many stallholders out there who've been selling chicken rice, selling their hamburgers for 10, 20 years. They're not going to change, They're not going to move. It's a livelihood. So we feel that it's important that we create alternatives, practical alternatives, not just for the customers, but for the vendors themselves. We need to consider how they're going to survive. And I think mock meat is the answer. And the technology these days is quite amazing. There are burgers and there are chicken, it can be pretty amazing because you can't tell. Something is so good, it's frightfully real for us.
Thank you. Would the other panelists like to share your view as well? Yeah, Dr. Gill.
I think on that same point, I agree with Yao, with Michael. I think mock meat is important. It helped me become a vegetarian because, as I said before, I don't like vegetables and I eat mock meat probably on a daily basis. Probably not the best for my health because a lot of the mock meats that I eat are low quality, high fat, lousy ones. But mock meat, I think, is one level. You cannot replicate I know it comes close, and I agree. And I've tasted things that, wow, this really brings me back to when I was 13 and the last 18. But I think what is really going to be the game changer, and I repeat my point I said before, is cultured meat. Not that I've tasted it, none of us here have probably tasted it. The first patty cost €250,000 to produce a few years ago by scientists in Europe. But if you look at any technology, it always starts there and then it comes down very fast. as far as I know, tens of millions of dollars have been put into this technology because people have seen the value of something called cultured meat. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it is taking cells from an animal, a live animal, and then growing those cells, stem cells, in a dish or in a broth or in a big incubator to get meat. And what you feed to those cells are plant products. You don't feed meat back into the meat product. So you can feed, and what I've seen the scientists talking about is even trying to be as environmentally friendly as they can. They're trying to look at things like algae. They're just growing the seabed instead of wasting it there. Not really wasting it there, but instead of it just being there, taking that and putting that into the cells to produce meat that will be exactly the same as meat that people are eating today, but without any animal suffering, with very little environmental impact, and probably much better for your health because they're looking at modifying the things in the meat to make them low saturated fat, high unsaturated fat, things like that. So I'm hoping that becomes a game changer, hopefully in our lifetimes.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, can we have the next question? Yes, okay. I've got to go back to her. Okay, I'll come back to you all just a minute later.
Thank you for your speech. I'm Grace from SMU. I would like to ask, because I'm an advocate of like vegetarian and animal, no animal cruelty and stuff. So I always promote about vegetarianism to my friends. But however, they always rebut to me like, oh, plants also have life. Plants also can feel. So what makes any difference? You're killing plants. Then I will start rebutting like, oh, animals will cry when they see their brothers and sisters get slaughtered, and plants will. And I find it very hard to argue, like give a very solid argument.